Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to the channel. I mentioned Henry Cavill in a couple of my recent videos, and I talked about how people try to defend him. It's like, oh, it's not his fault. Hey, he's just the actor. And that actually speaks to a bigger issue, which is, are actors at fault? And I hear this argument a lot, and it drives me crazy because it's always expressed in a way like, guys, he's just the actor, or she's just the actress. They didn't write or direct the film, guys. They're just the actors. It's not their fault. This kind of silly argument. It's like as though that, hey, they're just the worker bees. Hey, they're just hired to come in and pull the lever. They're just working on the assembly line, guys. They're powerless among the corporate bosses who tell them what to do. Stop. Oh, this argument's so ridiculous. First of all, usually these actors, except for like a special case or whatever, these actors aren't starving on the streets and they're just taking whatever job they can get just to pay their bills. Especially not big actors, taking on roles of major, motion pictures, starring roles in particular. Occasionally there's a case, like, for example, it was, I think Linda Carter, I think she was like living out of her car when she got the role of Wonder Woman on TV back in the day. Occasionally you'll have, cases like that. For the most part, that's not the case. Especially, like I said today, major motion picture roles. When an actor is offered a role, or they go out for a role, more likely than not, they actually do get to read the script. Or at the very least, a story treatment. They have to, right? They have to know what kind of character they're auditioning for so they can know how to prepare themselves to audition for this character. They have to know something about the general idea, the spirit of the portrayal of this movie that they're going to go out and audition for. And if they get the role, if they sign that contract, they know, because that's part of the job as an actor, that you're not just signing on to go punch the clock. Here's my acting work. Punched out. All right, guys, I just did a job. That's all I did. No, they are signing on to promote this movie, to go out there and talk about how the director's vision is so wonderful, and they're signing on to a promotional tour. They're signing on to try to use whatever clout they may have as an actor already to try to influence people in coming to see this movie. That's part of the job. That is part of the job. When Henry Cavill accepted the role of Superman in Man of Steel, Superman, he's not Superman. They didn't call him that. The garbage emo Hamlet in Man of Steel. You can find videos out there online of the special features of that film where he's talking about, the film, the great thing about Zack Snyder's vision, and it really shows the loneliness of the character, and I really like that, and all this ridiculous, stupid stuff that just shows that he has no concept of really who Superman is. What's so fascinating to me is how people are so easily bought off. He makes one comment or this or that about, I was playing World of Warcraft. He's one of us! And people are just like, he's great. Or I understand that, apparently, I didn't see this for myself, but somebody told me that when he was asked about the backlash against the Witcher series, and he was like, well, some people just have a different vision or whatever. Okay, that's a cool thing to say, but that doesn't negate all the crap that you've done. The fact that you said yes to this job, knowing, whether it's Man of Steel, Witcher, whatever, knowing that this is a vision of these characters that is vastly different from any way that Superman has been in our public mythos. This is a deconstruction of his character, a systematic deconstruction of his character. You said yes to that. You said, I want to be a part of that. Not only do I want to be a part of that, I want to be the face of that. I'm saying yes to being the face of that, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to promote that and try to use my identity and my reputation to try to get people to come be a part of that and accept that as a deconstruction that we desperately need of Superman. What are you smoking when you turn around and say, he's just the actor, guys. You can't blame the actor. How is that even remotely an argument? That drives me up the wall when people say this. And even with what I've said, I've heard people try to say, well, it's just the job. That's the game of Hollywood. They have to go out there. Then are actors culpable for anything they say? Are they culpable for the influences that they have? And of course they are. People who try to make these arguments, they're just picking and choosing. They have just decided for whatever reason that they like this actor or this actress They don't want to hold them accountable for anything they've done. So, I mean, they're just playing the game. By that logic, I can say, guys, Ezra Miller's just he's playing the game. Come on, he's a Hollywood, he's got to say the woke stuff, he's got to do. No, that's ridiculous, right? In any other circumstance, you'd call out how stupid and ridiculous that notion is. But people just resort to these thin, shoestring arguments anytime they just have it in mind that they want to support this character or that character. And it's usually because, as I've said before on my channel, they're subscribing to an idea, a fan base or a movement in fandom or whatever that's just decided that we are supporting this actor, we're not supporting that director, we're not supporting this, that, but we are supporting this movie, and, they're not really making arguments for it themselves. They're just they built their identity by identifying as I'm part of this movement of fandom, versus this one or whatever. Actors are 100% accountable. It is their fault. They choose the movies that they play in. Now, could there be extreme cases? Sure, like maybe I'm not an expert on all of the intricacies of this case, of this story. So, but that fan-four-stick, as they call it, just so I'll say fan-four-stick so you know what I'm talking about versus the Fantastic Four previous movies. But that the horrible movie that came out, I don't know the whole story behind it, but I think there was issues of it was a vastly different film by the time the editing was done. Are the actors themselves who signed on for it and signed the contracts certainly didn't have it in store and know that the director was going to be treating them like they did or treating the film like it did. So yeah, you can have a situation in which the actors do get in over their head. They end up being a part of something that they didn't necessarily sign up for. But if that's the case, then it's known, it's like a fan-four-stick kind of idea, or it's, they're not going out there and still pushing it and still trying to stand behind it and all this kind of stuff. So, it was even, I'm blanking on the woman's actress, the woman who played Martha Kent in Zack Snyder's garbage universe. But she even came out and said, because you have older seasoned actors who they've been around, they don't need to Diane Lane, is that her? Yeah. They don't have to play the game as much to make sure their career is situated. I mean, she's had her career. It's wonderful. She's not going to, go down in flames, all of a sudden. But someone even asked her before Justice League or Batman. Yeah, before Justice League came out, somebody said, is it going to be even better than the Avengers? She's like, no. Now some of the older actors and actresses will just flat out tell you, they don't have to play that game anymore. But, yeah, that's the case. So enough with this argument. They're just the actor. They're just the actor. It's horrible. That's not an argument. That doesn't hold water. Actors know what they're doing. They know what they're getting into. They signed up to really marry their reputation to this film. They chose it. They're going to promote it. They're going to try and influence you to come watch it. They're going to try and influence culture to accept it. And when it's just some original script that some person wrote or whatever, it's not a big deal, but when it is a movie that is about a character that's a cherished part of American folklore, that it's a film about a character who's an important part of American mythology, world mythology, Western mythology, whatever even, then they've got to really take that choice, consider it carefully. You can't just go grabbing at scripts and everything, and a lot of actors learn that the hard way. I mean, that's probably what Ben Affleck, a lesson he should have learned when he got the Daredevil role. Although I've heard people say that the director's cut isn't as bad or something like that. Again, if it's an issue like that, if it's an issue where the editing or something like that ended up with an output that wasn't exactly what the actor signed on for, then we know it. We know it. The story's out there. That's not the case with the Snyderverse. That's not the case with the Rings of Power series. I've heard people already say, well, the actresses and everybody who are coming out and saying all this ridiculous stuff for Rings of Power, come on, it's, they have to say that. That's what they're being told to say. They're being told to kind of push that. Well, then they're at fault for it. They're going along with it. You can stand up and say no. They're big girls. They can say no. They can say we're not going to push this, but it's at their core. They're part of that as well. They want that identity politics and stories and everything, and that's why they're going out for it. So, yeah, just this silly argument. People fall back on, well, it's not their fault. Yeah, it is. It's their fault, 100% their fault. They're a part of it, and they should be 100% to blame, just as much as the director or the screenwriter. So, those are my thoughts on that. I'll be back later with more, but until then, keep enjoying and digging deeper into the true hero stories you love. Thanks for watching.